Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some breaking news that came out officially yesterday. Um, I'm going to try to get to more videos this week. It's been very hard with my schedule to really, cover a lot of the topics I want to talk about and a lot of the things I gotta cover, with a lot of the news coming out, different news and media stuff coming out, as well as, my own series videos as well. We'll have another buy or sell probably in another week, maybe earlier, who knows, but I definitely will get one of those out for you guys. But we're gonna talk about this news about the Funimation Crunchyroll deal. Now, about 8 months ago, I think it was, the deal was finalized. There had been here and there discussions months leading up to that, and they made the agreement. Then within a month later, I think it was, the Justice Department decided that they were going to investigate it, and it would take around 6 months to decide whether this was an okay deal or not. And basically, I guess it came out. It came back okay because Crunchyroll announced on Twitter that they're officially a part of Funimation, or Sony Pictures, I guess. So we're gonna talk about this. I'll have the source link in the description. I mean, really, the source is from Crunchyroll's Twitter account themselves because they're the ones that broke the news. But all the outlets are talking about it now. But we're going to talk about this, and there's already been fear. There's a couple of people that have been talking about it on my Discord server. If you guys are not familiar, I do have my Discord server. Link will be in the description, and we have discussions. I'm on there mostly all the time. I mean, I shouldn't say I'm on there all the time, but I'm on there anytime I'm like free or whatever, or if I'm doing whatever. I try to be on there as much as I can, though. Obviously, because I have my phone and stuff, I can just go on the app and check in there. So if there's anybody that wants to ask me specific questions, or just having discussions about anime and whatnot, or any other form of media, I should say, we do a lot of that in the Discord. Anyways, so I've made a bunch of videos on this, and again, I'm really surprised this even was a thing because I don't think Crunchyroll was worth $1 billion. They're only known for streaming anime, and most people, don't watch anime. Like the general public. Um, you know, Netflix and Hulu and those mainstream type streaming service don't just have anime. They have other stuff that a lot of the general population have, which is what a lot of people know about. And Crunchyroll doesn't really have that. It just has anime. And again, I don't think, even though anime has gotten boomed, has had a huge boom over the years, I don't think it's worth as much as it was valued at. But that's near or there at this point now because it's official. But we'll see where that goes. If it's a profitable deal for them or not. Sony Pictures, with the movie industries, it seems like everyone keeps saying they are struggling, but when I see them making a deal for $1 billion for Crunchyroll, they can't be that much in that much debt. Because why are they acquiring Crunchyroll if they're really in movie debt? I don't think they'd be purchasing Crunchyroll for $1 billion. So That's what I gotta say to the people that think that. I don't believe that now. I mean, there's no way you could be purchasing a niche streaming service that really only is mostly for anime fans, mostly sub anime fans, because I think around 85% of their titles are sub only. Yes, they do have some dubs that I recently found out about. Actually, someone on my Discord brought that up. Um, I find a lot of information on Discord. Guys, you'd be amazed. I don't really know. I don't know everything, guys. So a lot of people that bring up stuff on Discord, you know, I'll get information and that I might have not even known. So uh, Sony bought it, and we'll see where that goes. Um, a lot of people have been asking me what the future of the industry is looking like for anime. That's really tough to say right now. It's not really good because again, this really is a monopoly, and I don't really think most people understand this right now. And it was the same thing with the Marvel deal or the 20th Century Fox deal. A lot of people were blind by the fact that Marvel characters that Fox owned for the cinematic rights was going to be reverted back to Marvel Disney, but didn't actually look at how the potential damning this was going to be to the industry, which it is. Um, and I think this is going to be another example of that. Maybe not as same as the Marvel stuff, but it's definitely going to be very damning going forward. So some of the big anime companies are Funimation, Crunchyroll, Senpai Films, um, Viz Media. Amazon's getting into the game for it now. They're also getting into the football market too. In a couple of years, they're going to take over the NFL Network games, which I think is incredibly stupid. It makes the NFL Network useless. But apparently, all the NFL cares about is money at this point. But Amazon is getting into the to the anime game, as we've seen. Um, they acquired the Neon Genesis last rebuilt movie. No, I do not know who's dubbing it. Hopefully, it will be the original Funimation cast for the first two rebuilt films. But I still don't know about that or not, and how that's gonna go. And then, of course, Netflix is getting into the anime game as well, as they, purchased the license to the new Neon Genesis redub. But where is and then of course Aniplex is basically partners with Funimation, partners with Sony, Sony Pictures, because they're owned by Aniplex is owned by Sony Music. Technically, they're in a different swing of things, but they're still in a really good partnership relationship. So where does this go? Well, a lot of people are worried that basically Funimation, Crunchyroll, aka Sony Pictures, Amazon, and Netflix are basically going to monopolize the anime license. And this is one of the fears that a lot of people are asking me about and what my opinion is on it right now. Well, I can say this right now. Viz Media is safe. Viz Media doesn't just rely on anime dub license. They also rely on the manga English dub adaptations, which pretty much all their titles that they do for the manga dub adaptations are like in the top 5 for comic books in the United States. Pretty much mangas are dominating the comic book industry. Uh, there's no comic books, American comic books, DC or Marvel, that's in the top 5 or even the top 10, I think. All of them are to Marvel, or not Marvel, I'm sorry, all of them are to mangas, which most of them are dubbed by Viz Media and licensed by Viz Media. Viz Media is mainly more of that than the anime dub titles. They obviously have big titles already. They have Bleach, they have Naruto, they have Boruto. They are most likely going to get the continuation of Bleach once it comes back, because they still have the license hold of Bleach, as well as the trademark, as well as the merchandising rights to it as well. And they're still putting out the Blu-rays as well. So they still have the license to Bleach. So whenever that comes back, they will get the license to it. Um, but Viz Media is safe in that front, because again, they don't just do anime licensing. They do mangas, and their mangas are doing tremendous in sales. So, because most people are going to mangas, because comic books are getting very, very uh, bad in writing and doing things that a lot of people don't like, and manga doesn't really do that for them, and so a lot of people are going to mangas. So Viz Media is safe, I think. I don't think it's really going to affect Viz Media, even though they don't really have a streaming service except for like their website. Obviously, they've been sub-licensing their titles to Funimation for streaming service use through Funimation. So there is that. That's another thing that's keeping Viz Media afloat. So I don't think Viz Media really has anything to worry about in this issue. That doesn't mean they can't go out of business, but I just think Viz Media, with them doing the other stuff besides just anime titles, I think makes it very problematic that they would not be in trouble in the long term. The company really to look out for is Senpai Films. Senpai Films, the one thing they got going for them that will help them is that they have High Drive, which I think came out about 2-3 years ago, which is exclusive titles that they have on their, in their catalog. Now, they currently are working on the Food War dub. They obviously have a partnership with Crunchyroll for the title. They have, like, I guess, a sub-license with them. It's kind of a weird type of deal with their whole thing. It's kind of different from the one that Crunchyroll and Funimation had for Black Clover. To my understanding, the first 2 seasons are 100% licensed by Senpai, but season 3 through 5 were basically sub-licensed in some way, where they are doing the dub, but they only have the home media rights, but they don't have like the streaming rights. I think they have kind of a streaming rights with season 3, because I think season 3 is on there, but to my understanding season 4 is not, but they had to wait like a year for them to have season 3 on there. But they did release the dub for DVD and Blu-ray. Then they did release the dub for season 4 on Blu-ray. They didn't release it on DVD, but they did release it on Blu-ray. And season 5 most likely will still be dubbed. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Senpai Films already dubbed Food War Season 5, and they are just not going to release it until next February, because that's what they did with Season 3, that's what they did with Season 4, and for this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they do next year. So you wouldn't have to worry about that, but future titles are going to be very more problematic for Senpai Films. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to license stuff. Maybe titles that are lesser known that might end up being successful, but they're going to be it's going to be very, very interesting. One of the things I had suggested in the Discord server when I was talking to some people was that maybe Viz Media and Senpai Films might get into a partnership, since they have a streaming service. But then again, I was also just thinking about it that, obviously they're licensing a lot of their shows that they already have the dub license to Funimation. So that might be something that they might not do. But Senpai might be one of the biggest issues and all that. They might end up trying to get sold to another company like Universal, or someone that could probably compete with Sony, maybe even Disney. Then again, maybe Disney isn't a good one for them to be owned by, because I almost guarantee they're going to have them change their name. Which I don't really care, but if people did care about that name, then well, it'd be gone. But yeah, so that's something to look out for Senpai, is if they are going to possibly try to get sold to somebody else besides Sony, obviously. That could really keep them afloat. But so now let's get to what the future for Crunchyroll is. What will happen to Crunchyroll? Well, as of right now, in the short term, I don't think Crunchyroll is going anywhere. Because obviously there's shows that are coming out in Toonami that are licensed by Crunchyroll, which contracts were already signed. So obviously Toonami's still going to air them. But the one thing that will happen, I do believe in the long term, Crunchyroll will be eventually absorbed by Funimation. I doubt Sony is going to let Crunchyroll continue and have Funimation, that name brand just go away. That I can't see happening, because Funimation's been around and that was obviously the original. Now, they could take some of the stuff that Crunchyroll has in their streaming service and incorporate it into the Funimation streaming service that a lot of people have been asking for. Or they could just completely get rid of it and just F you the fans. I don't know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of issues that need to be solved with this, and like I said, right now, I don't see Crunchyroll like the next day or within a week them being shut down. So if you think they're going to be shut down within a week, no, that will definitely not happen. It will I'm thinking that what's going to happen is Crunchyroll is probably going to be absorbed by Funimation in like sometime in 2022. I don't think they're going to be gulped by Funimation this year. I think they're going to still have them around because, again, contracts were still signed. There's still a lot of titles that are coming out, for Crunchyroll, titles that obviously have been dubbed and are about to be released on Toonami because they have contracts with them already. And they obviously, other titles that might be already in the works. But once all that stuff has been resolved and Funimation or Sony figures out how they're going to go about the merger and the changeover, then that's when it's going to happen. A lot of people have been asking about how are the subscriptions going to work, especially if you have a Funimation subscription and a Crunchyroll subscription. They most likely will just cancel you on Crunchyroll if they're, merging you over to Funimation, and they'll just have you in that plan. Or they might keep you on the plan you have. That's still very early on. I'm not exactly sure how Crunchyroll's planship works compared to Funimation's subscription plans, but it's probably just going to be like that. It's probably just going to be like they're just going to merge you over, and then they'll just cancel your subscription with Crunchyroll, and then you'll just have your subscription with Funimation. If you have both, then it will be the same transition. If you have one already, they'll probably just transfer you over to Funimation, or they'll just say that it's going to be canceled at this date. Would you like us to convert it over to Funimation, or, you know, not, basically. So there's a lot of things that got to be figured out about the deal. It will be interesting to see what happens in the coming months. Not to mention, obviously, there is a convention that they do every year in New York City, which is hosted by Crunchyroll, and they are doing it this November as well. It was canceled last year, but they're doing it this year. I wonder if that's going to be changed over to Funimation as well, or if they're just going to stop doing it after this year. Not exactly sure. It's very interesting to see where this goes. Again, I did not agree with this deal. I think this deal hurts the industry. I think this will make it much harder for newer voice actors to get work. Yes, the experienced voice actors, as well as the people that already get roles from Funimation or Crunchyroll or both. Obviously, this is not going to affect them. But for new and upcoming voice actors, I think this definitely will affect them. You know, so if you're someone that's trying to get into the industry like myself, this might be very, very effective. Obviously, you know, I've done, obviously, my own, you know, projects on Casting Call Club, you know, some, you know, projects here and there. I've done a lot of projects for Animation Rewind, paid projects, but obviously I want to eventually get into going to possibly getting to, you know, companies like this and whatnot, and dubbing, you know, for studios like this. But it's going to be much harder for guys like us to get in the industry, because there's going to be less studios to go to. It's going to be less studios to go to. You know, it's much harder. It's much harder when there's less competition. Anytime when there's less competition, that means there's going to be less work for them. And that happens all the time. In terms of why this deal was approved, like I said earlier in this video, I think the courts, the people, the Justice Department that decides whether this is a monopoly or not, I think are being way too lenient with these companies. Like I said, it started with 20th Century Fox, where they basically just allowed them to basically sell off other things that would make the deal rejectable. So 20th Century Fox could be bought by Disney. They basically, you know, split up Fox News, Fox Sunday, you know, NFL Sunday for Fox, as well as the local Fox station, which, as you all know, the local stations, you can only have one local station if you're a corporation. Disney already has ABC, so they couldn't own Fox, the local station Fox. So they allowed them to split up, and then there was a couple other there were a couple other countries that had smaller companies that 20th Century Fox owned in those countries, that they sold off to other companies in those countries, so the deal could be approved. But you know, they gave them a lot of leeway. And then you've seen it also with Sprint and T-Mobile deal. They basically allowed, the courts basically said it was okay for Sprint to merge with T-Mobile. So, you know, a lot of, you know, the courts really need to really reevaluate antitrust laws and monopolies, because it's getting really bad. It's getting really bad. And this is definitely going to probably hurt the anime industry. Keep it as unbiased as possible, guys. You know, I don't think this is a good deal. And I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think $1 billion for something that's only a streaming service for anime is a good investment for supposedly a company that is struggling in the movie industry, which I don't buy they're struggling in the movie industry, because how are they able to buy something like this for $1 billion if they are struggling in the movie industry? I don't buy it. Okay. So yeah, guys, this is kind of a little ramifications as well as my opinion on the Funimation Crunchyroll deal. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. Um, Links in the description for my Discord and all that stuff. And that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What do you guys think about this deal? I'm out of here. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell for all these content. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.